Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of the Fastball Sports Network WWE podcast. I'm Frank. That's Mark. Mark, how are we doing today?
Doing all right. What do you got for us? What's on the slate?
Well, as you know, or as we all know now, apparently, because we just found out, Elimination Chamber is a week from this Sunday already. That means we got two go-home shows coming next week. I don't even know if we have a full card yet, but we're going to talk about Elimination Chamber, everything Elimination Chamber. We'll also touch on Edge. And yeah, I mean, I think we have a good slate of things to go over. I know you love talking about Edge and Raw and Edge and Raw. So we'll talk about all of that. But let's start with the chamber that was announced. That's for the WWE Championship. This was kind of a no-brainer. I think I was saying this before, that this was the right way to go, putting this championship. It's not as beefed up as I thought it would be, but it's still I think it's still a good slate of superstars. I know your problem with it is you think that Drew McIntyre is just going to win, and I think I have the same problem. So I guess the question is, if somebody else were to win, like if we had a chance of somebody else winning, who would it be? Like if it's not Drew McIntyre.
I mean, I think you can't count out Randy. I don't think he's gonna win, but like you can't rule him out. And like AJ has an outside chance, but Miz, Sheamus, and Jeff have no shot. And I don't even think Randy or AJ really have a chance. But it's like if anyone can, it's those two.
I think we're both on the same page here with who we want to win, right?
AJ?
Yeah. I think that would be a really fun choice. And honestly, AJ Edge at WrestleMania.
That's the best. That's the best of any of these hypotheticals.
I'm in. AJ Edge at WrestleMania would be a great match. It would make, the size difference between him and McIntyre and him and Reigns right now is ridiculous. Like you talked about the believability, and it's wrestling, and you kind of just have to believe all of that. But there is such a size difference, and they are so much younger than him. You know what I mean? Like where it comes to a point where it's like even that is not believable. Like I was saying, like the Undertaker was at least big and old. Like he was at least a big man and old. Edge is like older now, and you could tell in his face. You say that he doesn't look great. I don't think he looks that bad, but against McIntyre and Reigns, I'm afraid of what the optic might look like.
I just think his matches are very slow and very methodical because that's either the rate he can work now or just, and that doesn't work with Roman. Definitely not Roman. I don't think Drew either. Like you can't have like a slow like punch Roman. Roman punches you back. Like Roman's a big dude. He's not going to be slapping you in the like. His punches hurt. Like it's not. That's my biggest issue with like the believability where. He and Edge's matches, he sells a lot. He's off in the corner getting beaten up, and that's what he'd be doing. Roman would be beating him down, but like, I'm not gonna buy it when he gets his hot spot in and like he starts like beating up Roman. I'm like, what is this? Like, I don't
know. Just touching on AJ Styles a little bit more with AJ, we arguably saw some of the best work of John Cena's career when he was kind of moved into that part-time role and he fought AJ Styles a few times. There was a few different instances, right? So we had John who wasn't competing regularly in WWE, right? And he was putting on his best work, and it was with AJ Styles. I think AJ Styles would go a long way for Edge. He makes guys better. I mean, he made The Undertaker better in that Tombstone Graveyard match. Obviously, they can cut that as many times as they want, but still, AJ was great. I think that he is the best person for these guys to work with because he's been around the block. He's a legend in his own right, and he just is the best. Like I think there's no other way to say it. Like he's just so good at what he does, and I feel like his wrestling skills have not been on display now for a little while. Where like I'm ready to see him as WWE champ again, and I want to see him face Riddle and Keith Lee and all the guys they could put him with to have great matches. So
AJ is definitely the best option of any of these hypotheticals so far. That being said, I don't think he has a chance. I think it's Drew's win.
Yeah, I agree. I really will do our predictions next week. Maybe something will change our mind. Maybe we'll see some news. But as of right now, I agree with you. I give AJ like a 4% chance. I give Randy like a 5% chance, and the other 91 goes to Drew McIntyre. Nobody else has a chance.
I know Randy is like kind of close to like Cena and Rick, so maybe if they want to get Randy another one, just to throw in, like, start padding his titles, and maybe at some point, I think a match could be Randy versus John for 17. But like, so that's like the only thing Randy has going for him here. But I don't know.
Yeah, no. Randy is just one of those guys where every time he's in the title match, like you can't be that surprised if he wins it.
And maybe they want to do like McIntyre Sheamus, just like singles in WrestleMania. You don't need the title there, and you can get like Randy versus the Fiend if they want to go that direction. There are things.
Yeah, no, there's definitely ways that they can do this. It'll be, I guess, interesting to see how it plays out, even though it might not be that interesting to see how it plays out. I don't know. We gotta look and see. Usually an elimination chamber, the meta has been one men's chamber, one women's chamber. Do you think we see an announcement of a SmackDown women's championship elimination chamber tonight? Or do you think we see maybe possibly another elimination chamber of any type? Or do you think it's just going to be the one elimination chamber?
I think it's probably just the one. I don't think there's enough like traction or excitement to do another one right now. I mean, like it'd be great. I would love to see like the SmackDown girls do one, but I just don't see it because Sasha would have to win, and then like you have Sasha retain, and you have Drew retain. It's kind of like, what's the point of doing it?
Who would it be if it were the women? We'd have Sasha and Carmella are probably locks. Bailey,
Natalia,
Ruby or Liv, right?
Like, what's the big girl? What's Tamina? Yeah, I mean,
and Billie Kay is also there. I don't know. Maybe they could use her.
It'd be fun. Like I said, yeah. I'm a lot more interested in that. That would be in like this Raw match. But I think when you know the outcome already, it's kind of like whatever.
Possibility they put Roman in the chamber and do the double championship elimination chamber. Or same problem though, right?
Yeah.
No, you're just making the same person we're saying. But honestly, you throw Roman in that elimination chamber with like KO, DB, like that the SmackDown main men's championship elimination chamber would have the potential to be one of the greatest of all time. Like literally, like you could put
it'd be amazing, but like you said,
you put in that match, like top 6 guys on SmackDown right now. You put Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, right? 1, 2, 3, bang, bang, bang. Seth Rollins. Go ahead and then pick 2 guys. I don't even care who they are. You could put me and you in that chamber.
And it'd be like Nakamura and Big E. It'd be sick.
Like that would be amazing. Like that would be sick. Nakamura and Cesaro. Like Big E and
Sammy. They got all these guys.
Sammy. Yeah, literally. That would be that's the match that I really want right there. I don't think we're gonna get it, but that would be awesome.
Roman has to go into Mania with the belt, so it's kind
of and Roman can win that match and make himself look even small, like even better. I don't know. We could put main event Jey Uso in there, and it would be great. That is the match that I want to see more than any. But I'm actually not as down on this WWE Championship Elimination Chamber. The only problem is, like you said, we think we know who's gonna win.
Well, it's just like, why is Miz taking his spot is lame. I mean, they don't want Keith Lee in it because he's not going to win, so they want him to take a loss. And now Keith Lee is kind of involved with like the United States Championship picture, which I think is a really good spot for him. Actually, I think like he's to me, he is like an upper mid card guy. I don't see him as a main eventer, at least not right now. So I do think it's a good spot for him. I think it's probably time to take the belt off Lashley. And the way they built up Lashley, you need a guy like Keith Lee to do it because he's beaten literally everyone for half a year. So I think it's okay, but yeah, just to have, I know Jeff is there to do a crazy spot and die, and like he's there, he's a name, it's nostalgia, it's cool, but like Miz doesn't have to be here. He has the briefcase. It just doesn't seem necessary at all.
I'll never not support Jeff Hardy in a championship match.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. Like,
the day I die, we could put him in match. I mean, till the day he dies or I die, whatever comes first, we could put him in championship matches, and I'll ship it. I'll be with it.
It's just I don't know. It's the Miz is the bad one. Why not Morrison? Why not give Morrison a spot? Like it's just like, what's the point? I've been saying this forever. I said this when
Sheamus kind of has to be in, right? Sheamus kind of has to be in.
Yeah, no, Sheamus should be in. Definitely, he deserves a spot. He's been doing good work as of late, and he has a story.
I would have loved to see Riddle in that match. I would have loved to see Morrison in that match. I would have loved to see maybe Andrade returning Andrade be put in that match. Does Andrade exist anymore? Probably. I mean, he's dating Charlotte. He's gonna. I don't know.
I mean, he would have been released if he wasn't dating Charlotte, but yeah, he's with Charlotte, so he's in a good spot there. He's relatively protected. It's just no, there's a lot of different guys. I mean, I think someone said there might be a swerve where like Brock or someone might take out Miz, but like
Andrade.
I don't know.
No, it's not going to be him.
I don't know. It's not bad. Like it's gonna be a good time, but I don't know.
The
It's
killer is knowing who wins, right? That's the killer.
yeah, it's tough, and like I really don't even know what's going on with the Raw title. To be honest with you, like they can go in like 9 different directions from now until WrestleMania, but I don't know if I'm excited about any of these directions it might be going in. It's kind of my issue.
I can agree with that. I could see a lot of different avenues, but none of them are one that I particularly love. I usually like to just wait and see how things play out. So before I like bash whatever the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania is going to be, I'm going to wait to see what it's announced as before I go too crazy in my theories and stuff like that. They could always
Yeah.
bring back Brock and have those two run it back, which honestly doesn't sound too appealing to me either. Or maybe they can bring in Brock and go in a completely different direction. I really don't know what they're
It's
gonna do with that
it
title.
seems like Adam Cole is not doing like Mania. Seems like he's not going to be part of this. So
I think if he's a call up, it's gonna be after
yeah,
again, right?
but
Like
we
we
were
can have
all of
some
our
sort
like fantasy booking. We both had him like coming back, like being a big part of this thing. He's clearly not. Raw is a problem. It's been a problem. It's not news. To be completely honest, it's kind of just where we are. And then on the girls' side, it's a mess too. But Raw's bad. Right? I
Should
say
you
it every
move
week.
Bianca to Raw and have her face Asuka?
Would I do that?
I'm saying, like, would that help clean that up, right?
So what do you want Sasha to do?
I run it back with Bailey. I don't know, Rhea Ripley.
That's the other thing. Rhea Ripley has graduated from NXT. She's on the main roster now, but apparently they don't know which roster or what she's doing yet. Like a girl like that, like how do you not have a plan in place for her?
They're honestly probably waiting to make the final decision on Bianca, and then they'll probably put her on the opposite show, right?
I'd imagine, but like how are we not sure what we're doing yet? Like how do we not have
Yeah,
a plan? How
I
do we have a
agree.
plan in place for WrestleMania?
I agree. She's got to be in one of those title matches. I would think whatever, because you know what? Maybe you throw her on Raw, and then obviously we think that Charlotte and Asuka are going to be involved in that women's title match at WrestleMania. Maybe you make it a triple threat match and you throw her in there too.
I imagine Rhea's going to be in the title match.
That would be a huge win for Rhea Ripley if she like beat Charlotte and Asuka in the triple threat match. Like that would be a huge win.
I mean, the story is she has to beat Charlotte. She has to get one on Charlotte.
Becky Lynch is. I saw a report that says she's close.
I don't know.
I feel like you can't expect her back before WrestleMania, but as a disclaimer, I'll always throw her into these conversations as someone who could be in a title match at WrestleMania or could be making a big deal.
She's the big Raw after Mania pop.
I feel like that's somebody that's better to have at Mania. So if it's like the difference is like a month, like and she's like ready to go, like then yeah, she's just ready to go. We'll see. She teased at the Royal Rumble. She took a picture of the curtain and tweeted it or something like that.
Yeah, I know. What's the story? Like, I don't want to just. Becky's amazing. We can't just bring her back to bring her back. Like, we got
the baddest woman on the planet is back to take everyone's arm.
That's
the disarm. In case you,
Isn't Ronda the baddest woman on the planet?
I mean, she's not, but it's Becky Lynch. But I mean, whatever. But I'm just saying, like Becky's back to take her championship back.
I don't want her coming. I don't want her coming back to like stare at Asuka and Charlotte and be like, "I'm back." Like I want.
No, the reason she'd be back is to take her championship back. The championship never lost. Asuka, I let you rent that, and now I'm coming back. And then Charlotte's like, well, you can't just step in here and do, and then they do the whole thing, and maybe Rhea Ripley's there, and maybe it's a fatal 4-way match, and then Becky beats them all, or Rhea beats them all, and we build a star right then and there because I know WWE hates doing that.
I'm not here for it. It'd be too rushed. Bring her back after Mania.
You could. How would it be rushed if she came back next Monday? It would not be rushed.
She's not coming back next Monday.
Why not?
She's not going to come back like cutting promos and like she's not going to wrestle.
No, she probably wouldn't wrestle until WrestleMania, or like more than like a 5-minute match, like just like a little tuner match on Raw, like a week or two before.
I don't know. I love Becky a lot. I don't want her like. It depends how they do it, I guess. I shouldn't judge.
I feel like they need stars for WrestleMania. Like they usually have their part-timers. They usually have John. They don't have any of that right now. We don't know about Goldberg. We don't know about Brock. Like they don't have a big name coming back, returning. I mean, Edge, you could say, but I feel like that was more of a last year thing. He fought at WrestleMania. Like Becky's a name, a big name. Maybe not in that realm, but
He's
she's
like,
close to
I
it.
never have to see Becky and Charlotte again. That'd be cool. Like ever again.
Well, that's fine, but Charlotte's not the WWE Women's Championship.
She will be, or she'll be in the match for.
And I think Charlotte and Becky fighting again is inevitable. So you're gonna have to just
No,
get
I
used
know. It's like that's just it doesn't really excite me as much to like think about that as like Becky's potential return. Like
Well,
I'm
she's not gonna go to SmackDown, right? I mean, like
not.
you could do that. What'd you say?
Why not? Why can't she show up and
I
like
mean, yeah, sure. Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch at WrestleMania,
that's fun.
Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Asuka. We're putting Charlotte in every match.
I mean, she's an automatic.
Charlotte's in both matches. Charlotte's with Sasha and Becky and Asuka and Bianca.
Yeah, why not? Charlotte does double overtime like that all the time.
Yeah.
No, but I think we just booked it where you go the bottom three the final three in the Royal Rumble. You go Bianca, Rhea, and Charlotte for the Raw title, and then you go Becky versus Sasha, maybe and Bailey, maybe a triple threat match there, or just a one-on-one. I think that's the best case scenario we just made.
Oh, I like Becky, Charlotte, Bailey a lot. I like
That's
that
a lot better than the same old we've been seeing. And like Becky, like put Becky on SmackDown. Raw's terrible. Don't have it bring her down like that.
I'm not Becky, Charlotte, Bailey. Becky, Sasha, Bailey.
Yeah, on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And then on Raw, you do Rhea, Bianca, and Charlotte, and Asuka, be a joint tag team with Lana or something. I don't know.
No, Alana's already got a tag team partner. We'll talk about that a little later.
You know what really got me mad?
What's that?
Did you see the promo Lacey and Charlotte were cutting with Rick in the ring?
Yeah, it was really strange.
It was really bad. But Lacey goes, "We can be tag partners," like trying to become friends with Charlotte. And she goes, "I already have a tag partner. It's Asuka."
Sure, she does.
Asuka's not her tag partner.
They just won the women's tag team.
They're not tag partners. That's not a thing.
They're not tag partner.
Charlotte Flair does not have a tag partner. It's not Asuka. It's like Asuka's my tag partner. It's like get the.
It would be, she called her what? Discount Charlotte. What'd she call her?
Charlotte 2.0 or something.
There you go. It could have been Charlotte and Charlotte 2.0 on the same team.
Yeah, I mean, she should have accepted it. It would have done wonders for Lacey.
Probably would have done wonders for her career.
Imagine if Lacey had Rick on one side and Charlotte on the other side. She'd be a Hall of Famer.
It's true. The most what's the word I'm looking for? Gravity she's gotten while being on the main roster has been being Ric Flair's like casual friend. That's that. And for those of you getting mad at me right now, that's how Ric Flair described it. The relationship is casual. So that's how I'm going to put it.
I think he said that wrong, right? Like he wasn't, I think he's supposed to say like platonic or supposed to say like business. Like I don't think.
No, platonic means there's absolutely no.
I know, but I feel like
I don't think that's what he meant. I think he meant casual. I think he meant exactly what he meant. Like he said, yeah, it's a little weird that we're doing this. He's very old and a terrible father, might I add. But yeah, this is what we're doing. So that's what we're commenting on. If you have a problem, you don't have a problem with us. You have a problem with the product. That's what I said.
Yeah, I mean, Lacey got the title match against Asuka.
Oh, was that announced? Was that officially announced? Did I miss that?
She beat Charlotte by disqualification, so Charlotte beat her up. So she earned the title match against Asuka at the Elimination Chamber.
Oh, good for
Lacey.
Thank you. Forgot her name, and she's not going to win. But good for her for getting that title shot.
What if?
No, that's Asuka all the way.
What if Rick does something and
I think what's going to happen is she's going to win via disqualification, and Asuka going to get pissed at Charlotte, and that's how we could start that blow off.
Sounds terrible.
Because it's inevitable. Asuka Charlotte is inevitable. Like we can fantasy book all we want, but that is what's gonna happen.
Sounds awful.
All right, let's move on. What do you expect from the return of Seth freaking Rollins tonight, the Friday Night Messiah? A good guy, bad guy. Who's he gonna feud with? Daniel Bryan? Are we bringing back the Mysterios? What's happening?
This is really the biggest wild card. I really have no idea. I heard what you said at the end. I'm gonna ignore it. It's like the biggest.
Is Murphy gonna be seen on SmackDown for the first time since
they could do literally anything here. like anything.
Like
Face,
Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins.
make him a face, make him a heel, make him step up to Roman tonight, make him like step like he can do literally anything and like it's believable. Like Seth has that impact, and we're that confused with his character right now and his direction that he could be a face, he could be a heel, he can do whatever he wants, and like I'm here for it.
I
Um,
really. Oh, go ahead. Continue. Sorry.
no, I mean, I was just kind of going to say more about how I don't really know. I can't really predict it. I'm really excited to watch it. I'm really excited to see what the plan is if they have a plan. He might just come out there and say like, "Hey, I'm back, and maybe I'll tell you next week what I want to do." I wouldn't be surprised if they did that, but I do like that they're like promoting him a lot. They're doing the vignettes. They're like, Seth Rollins is back tonight. It's a big deal because it is a big deal. So good on them.
I really don't see him coming back as a face right now. I don't think that that's where they're gonna go with this because he just hasn't been gone long enough for it to be like it wasn't that long. Like it was November to February, 2 months, end of November to February. Yeah, so he's gone all December and not even all of January. The Royal Rumble was at the end of January, so I think they'll probably keep him in that heel role. I'd like to see Daniel Bryan tonight step up to Seth Rollins after he cuts his promo being evil. I
Dan
think
Bryan
that.
hasn't won a match in 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's true. He's doing like this weird thing with Cesaro. I don't know.
He's doing this
Um,
weird thing where he loses every week, but he like fist pumps the guy afterwards. Like, yeah, you did it. It's like, I don't know. It's a little much for me.
um, I don't know. You could put him with a kid like Otis. Nothing.
Otis,
I don't know. Maybe he just like bullies someone on his way back. You know, I'm trying to think of like those face possibilities. Um, I don't really know what the plan is with him, but I hope that we have a little bit of a clearer picture. I hope it's not just like a dumb promo and then he goes to the back and then that's it. Like I
that's
want
what
to
I'm
see
saying.
something
Like the way they're,
interrupt him or him interrupt somebody.
I'm telling you though, like they're not gonna do it, but he should do something with Roman, some type of interaction.
I think
Like
it's too early
even
because
if
he's not taking the belts from him, so like it's
they
just
don't
too
even have to
early.
have a match per se. Like cut a promo together, do something like see each other backstage and acknowledge.
Well, I could see the backstage like glance or something like
They have
that.
done nothing with the two of them on the same show.
I think it's been on purpose. I think
I
they're
know
waiting
they're
to start
they're keeping
planting
them away
seeds.
on purpose, but we can start like planting some seeds. We can have a backstage. We can have an in-ring promo. We can do something where it's like, oh shit, like yeah, that's Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. This is a big deal.
Yeah, I think they're gonna wait until they have a clear plan to once like to put them together in a program. And I don't think they have that right now. I don't think they have a clear plan for anyone. But I mean, like, I guess we're gonna wait to see what
The
edge
only plan they have is Kevin Owens will lose to Roman Reigns on every single show.
for Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is doing some of the best work of his career, and it's just
Kevin Owens
he's
is
losing
awesome.
every match.
I don't know how this is still going on. I didn't know how this was still going on the
He is
last
awesome.
time.
Kevin Owens is awesome. Um, Lana and Naomi picking up a lot of steam as a tag team. I know you hate this. I actually like this a lot.
I
How
mean, I
do
don't
you think
hate
they
it.
win?
I don't hate it. I just think Naomi's a lot better than this.
I mean, if it was like, it's Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler that they're feuding with, you know. So it's like, and like I've pointed out in the past, if they win, it's gonna be a lot of Naomi. You know what I mean? Like Naomi's gonna be the one that has to look like amazing through all of this because Lana's gonna get beat down like a lot by the two of them. So like Naomi's gonna look really good through all of this. So I don't know. We keep saying again, this goes back to Charlotte and Asuka being the inevitable Raw Women's Championship match. Maybe you throw in an extra piece, but she's not going to be in that match. Therefore, this is something good for her to be doing to be on TV every week. Again, she's going to look great when she takes
Like
on.
to me, why isn't she in that match?
Well, I can't tell you that, but I can tell you she's just not going to be in it.
That's why I'm like, that's why I'm off about it. Like the women's tag teams mean absolutely nothing, and Naomi comes back from this long hiatus, looks amazing in the Rumble, has an awesome showing, and then she's in a tag team with Lana. Like, who the hell cares?
Well, I mean, somebody's got to hold them, right? So it might
Why?
as well.
They should make them go away.
They should just denounce them.
Put them on NXT. Just get rid of them.
I mean, they could do that for the. I don't know. That would probably be a mess, right? But yeah, these are now
What is it
NXT.
now? You say that would be a mess. What would you call the situation now?
I mean, like they're there. They show up on Raw and SmackDown sometimes when they feel like they should be on SmackDown, and that's pretty much it.
It's a mess.
Is Keith Lee as United States champion going to happen?
It feels like it to me, at least. Like I said, it's kind of the issue that they have here, where when you make a guy like Bobby Lashley the dominant mid card title holder, not the real title holder, it becomes quite the issue. Like he beats down Ricochet and Cedric Alexander and all these like smaller guys who are the normal guys who can usually fight for the US or the IC title, and you need a guy like Keith Lee to come around for it to eventually take the belt off of him. And I think it's time. I think Lashley had a really good run. I think they built him up to a point where he's very believable. I think he could probably be a real champion at this point, where I didn't believe it the first time he challenged Drew. I feel like now is a good time, or maybe if you want to go that direction, he could actually win the title.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. And you talk about building Bobby Lashley, and part of the payoff of this would be you've built Bobby Lashley, so now he can move to the main event. And now, if you give Keith Lee the victory over him, you have Keith Lee beating a potential main eventer. You've done a 2-for-1 now. You've built up Bobby Lashley. You've given yourself another main eventer. You've built up Keith Lee, who will now hold the mid-card title the way Bobby Lashley most likely did. And when he's inevitably beat, he can go up to the mid-card. Like this is what this championship is meant to do, right? This is what these mid-card championships are meant to do for a guy like Keith Lee, who's we see as like a young kid. I don't actually know how old Keith Lee is, but we see as like someone younger.
Probably 35.
Probably or like early to mid 30s. This is what it's meant to do. And it's actually nice to see that it might happen like that. And honestly, the way they've set it up now, Lashley doesn't even have to lose clean, right?
Yeah.
It can just be Keith Lee covering Riddle.
And
so they've done this perfectly. Just finish it, right?
Yeah. I mean, like at this point, I think Lashley has just a good amount of like an opportunity as pretty much anyone to be in the real title match at WrestleMania.
Yeah. As Sheamus, as AJ, as Randy, as the Fiend, like
he holds
he's right there.
Same, if not better claim than all those guys.
Yep. Yeah, no, I agree. What are your realistic expectations from 38-year-old Damian Priest? Now, a lot of people are making a big deal about his age. That's why I said it. I don't actually have a problem with Damian Priest being 38 years old. 38 is not that old, especially in wrestling years. He could be around for, we've seen guys go to 55. He could be around for 15, 16, 17 years. All right, so everyone's got to cool it with the 38 years old, blah, blah, blah. But that being said, what are your realistic expectations for Damian Priest?
I mean, good for them that they're doing the Bad Bunny thing with him, so he's getting the attention from like the main audience. Like, so great start. I mean, like I don't love the Bad Bunny stuff, but like I don't really care. I understand that he's really popular and it's really important. Like it's a big deal. Like it's good that they put him with him instead of like, I don't know, like they could have put someone else like who doesn't matter like with him, but they put a young guy. He's not young, but a new guy, and trying to give him that rub, that attention. I think it's a great start. We got to see where it goes, because we see it a lot with these guys where they come up and they have a plan and it looks great, and then like they kind of get pushed aside like 2 months later, where it's like, oh, what happened to Damian Priest? Now he kind of just goes out there and loses to Bobby Lashley in a minute. Like I don't know. I fear that that's probably his path, just because they've made it clear they can't book anyone on like come up from NXT. But he has a cool entrance. Like I said, they paired him with the Bad Bunny, so it seems like he matters, and hopefully it remains that way. I don't know if he's ever going to win the title. I don't know if I see that in his future, but definitely a US IC guy, right?
If they can keep him around the way they keep around Baron Corbin, then I would say for a guy that size, a guy like that, that's what you're kind of looking for, right? Like if you can keep him around there, maybe a little bit more of a tweener where Baron Corbin is just heel.
Yeah.
But I think that that's a perfect role for him, and I don't think that there's a reason that he can't do that. Now, that being said, this is the perfect way to build him up, right? You put him with Bad Bunny. You pointed out to me the other day that Bad Bunny has the top 5 selling merchandise on the WWE website.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny's a huge international star. Listen, if you don't understand why the WWE is working with Bad Bunny, you are lost. You don't understand this, and wrestling probably isn't for you, right? Like at this point, like I see people complaining and getting angry This is bringing the WWE tons of revenue and tons of views of people that wouldn't normally watch it. And as a wrestling fan, that's what you should want, right? You
Yeah.
should want people watching wrestling who don't watch wrestling, because the more popular wrestling gets, the more money goes into wrestling. The more money that goes into wrestling, the better product we will get. That's always the way it is. That's always the way it will be. The more money pumped into something, the better it will get, unless it doesn't get good, and then they'll start losing money. So
Yeah.
This is good. I'll stomach a 15-minute a tag team match between Bad Bunny and Damian Priest against Miz and Morrison at WrestleMania, and I won't really pay attention, and I'll eat some food or go to the bathroom during it, and I'll come back to see what the payoff was, and I'll be happy that it happened. Like, people are complaining over nothing, I feel like. But no, this is perfect for Damian Priest. They put him with an international superstar, obviously very popular. Maybe not as popular here in America as he is other places in the world, but there's no denying that he's a super, super popular artist right now. And Priest is going to be with him. He's going to be the guy that people, when they tune in, they're seeing Priest, and they'll see The Miz, who's obviously great with like celebrities, and he's like the WWE's guy for this, so he's perfect for this role. And they'll see Morrison. So those three guys are going to get a huge rub. Not that The Miz really needs it, but Priest definitely probably does. So this is perfect. This was good by WWE. And if you're going to complain about it, you're just going to complain about everything. Like that's really all I could say about that.
Yeah.
Kofi and Ali. I think this feud's been really interesting. I know you've liked definitely a lot of what you've seen from this feud. Do you think this payoff is a singles match or a tag team match?
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's actually pretty good storytelling throughout. I feel like at some point Kofi and Ali have to face off, and it'll be fine. You know, they're both really good at what they do. It doesn't really matter.
Do you think Ali goes over?
No.
Do you think he should?
Yeah. I mean, like, I can't believe Retribution is still a thing. That's kind of where I'm at. I can't believe they haven't just scrapped the whole thing at this point.
And just Dom Dijakovic just shows up on Raw one day. It's like, oh, that's from NXT. We haven't seen him in a year.
It's so strange. Because they still have them as a thing and they still don't win matches. It's the most bizarre booking ever.
Yeah, they lost the other day, right? Kofi Woods rolled somebody out.
They lose every week.
Yeah. Really funny on Woods. He just every time they beat them and they're like rolling down the ramp, Woods screams, "Where's Reckoning? Where's Reckoning?" Reckoning is Mia Yim contracted COVID. She hasn't been seen on WWE TV since. So I don't know. Woods is just.
Yeah, I didn't even know who that was. I didn't understand the joke. But.
Yeah, exactly. So, also, since we're talking about Keith Lee and me, engaged yesterday night. Congratulations to the happy couple.
You felt the need to text me at 5 a.m. like, this is hype. I was like, all right, man, good. Happy for that.
I just wanted you to know that true love exists, and congratulations to them on their engagement. I'm sure they'll never see this congratulations ever.
It cannot wait until today or morning. You have to tell me.
It was more of just a confirmation that we were going to record the show today, or like to tell you that we were going to record the show.
I wake up and see that. I'm like, what? Good. I'm glad Keith Lee and Mia are married. Good.
All right. Well, listen, I guess some of us are a little bit happier than others, but congratulations to the happy couple. We'll move on from there. Who are the Raw Tag Team Champions?
The Raw Tag Team Champions are.
This is taking you longer than
Three Profits.
The Raw?
No, the Hurt Business.
Yes. When's the last time you've seen the Raw Tag Team Champions? It had to be before the Rumble, right? Like it had to be before the Rumble.
Yeah, sure.
Brutal. That's where I want to leave it. Right there. That's where I want to leave it. I don't think we have to talk about anything else.
It's not good.
The SmackDown Tag Team Champions got a new theme song, so I guess they're really running with that.
The Dirty Dogs.
The Dirty Dogs.
How'd they get approved? How'd they get go with that? Like Vince.
I honestly, it's funny because it's Dolph. It wouldn't be funny if it was anybody.
I feel like Dolph can do whatever the hell he wants at this point. They're just like, yeah, go crazy, Dolph. Have fun.
We're gonna be the Dirty Dogs. Really, you couldn't come up with anything better? Nope, we're sticking with Dirty Dogs.
Even like Even like Bobby Roode, like I feel like Bobby Roode should probably be doing something of note. Like he's a tag team champion, good for him, but like why?
Yeah, no, I mean, he's on this SmackDown card with just the absolute stack of guys at the top, where it's like we're not giving anyone the belt but Roman, and there's so many people that deserve that belt right
I
now.
remember too with Bobby Roode, like Bobby Roode like killed it in NXT. He had the glorious, he had the big entrance. Everyone loved him. Like he was like a really big deal for his like year or two down there. And he kind of came up and did nothing like every guy who comes up, and now he's in a tag team. It's just frustrating to see like how guys are portrayed down there and they come up here and it's just they just don't connect. It's like
There are guys that have done well that I guess were inevitable to do well, like Keith Lee and Sami Zayn. I'm sorry,
I wouldn't even Keith Lee
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Sammy's been like a multiple time Intercontinental champion.
he's fine. He's fine.
Like he's like people will say like, oh, they didn't do right by him.
But
Like they
listen,
did
for every good one, you have 3 bad ones.
bad ones. Yeah, no, definitely. I think Keith Lee and Riddle are the start of a newer like generation. So we're gonna have to see how those guys work. And to be clear, we're only talking about the men here. The women have all become, I mean, most of the women have done really well.
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler, you talk about Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Charlotte, Bailey, Asuka, Becky, Kairi Sane was kind of up for a while before she left the WWE. So I mean, like there are good examples from the women all over the place. We're not talking about the women. They actually utilize the women very well. For some reason, they cannot get the men right.
There's just too many. There's too many guys.
That could be it. There's just too many guys.
Like you look at like gimmies, like Aleister Black felt like a gimme to like make this guy a star. And obviously, I mean, later on, other circumstances happened with Zelina Vega and everything. But like prior to that, they were doing nothing with him. Like we were begging them, like, "Yo, just give him the briefcase right now. This is the time. Like, give him a chance." And they gave it to Otis, and they were like, "Oh, we messed up," and they gave it to the.
And then they didn't even. So you have an NXT guy in Otis, right? So you chose between Aleister Black and Otis. You chose Otis, and then you didn't keep it on Otis. And now Otis is with Gable, and he shows up on SmackDown once every 3 weeks.
I mean, that's the other
but
problem.
You could have had Otis cash in, be champion, even if it was for like 2 weeks in like one of those, like in between a pay-per-view. Like you could have made him WWE champion or Universal champion, but you didn't do it. And now Otis is gone, and you don't have Aleister Black. You have to. I don't even care about the bad booking. If you're going to book something, just stick with it. Just do it. You know what I mean? Like, just see it out. Maybe it doesn't end as bad as it looks like it's going.
We had this argument once where I said Otis was a bad idea, and you said, like, give it a chance before you judge it. They didn't even give it a chance. They were like,
they didn't give it a chance. How can I expect you to give it a chance if they didn't give
I'm saying they did what I did. They looked at this like, this is like, I knew from the beginning it was a terrible idea, but I guess like he was hot at the time. They had the Mandy thing going. So they were like, oh, let's give it to him. And I was like, this is awful. But yeah, they were just like.
Then they took everything that was hot about him and that's the maddening part, right? So the thing that everyone loved about Otis, right, was that he was with Mandy and he was like, it was like this love story, but it was funny and it was like quirky, but it was fun. Like it was a lot of fun. And then they took all of that away. So it's like, so you took all the good parts away from him. Like, and now you're going to push him as a super. It didn't make any sense. None of the booking that they did with him made any sense.
Listen, here's the other issue where you asked me who are the Raw Tag Team Champions. It took me about 30 seconds to think of it. They had a good tag team here in Heavy Machinery. They don't, and they
were a lot of fun. They were a lot of fun. Like, where's Tucker now?
I was getting to that, but they had tag teams that they established that are credible, and they just break them up for no reason. They've done it with we talked about the girls ad nauseum about how they've done this with all the girls. That's why the girls really don't matter. But the guys don't matter either. And then they put Tucker on Raw. They had him like lose like a squash match against Ricochet, and he hasn't been seen since. It's just like, how are we this bad? How are we not? I don't know.
There are 2 real tag teams in the WWE at this point. I'm sorry, there are 3 real tag teams in the WWE at this point. There's the New Day, there's the Street Profits, and there's the Riot Squad. Those are the only 3 teams that I view as like a real tag team. You could argue the Hurt Business, and I wouldn't argue with you, but I just think that that's 2 guys thrown together for a bigger purpose.
I mean, they're definitely a faction. I just don't know if they're a tag team. Like,
And like, just to be clear, like I'm for them throwing people together when they don't have anything to do with them, but you got to make me believe that they want the tag team titles. You know what hurt? You know what hurt? We were talking about Jason Jordan the other day. American Alpha should have been like one of the best tag teams in WWE
and they broke them up
history.
long
Like
before he
that,
got hurt.
and they broke them up before they even got a chance. And what to do what? To put the tag team titles on Jason Jordan's and Seth Rollins.
That's what they do. That's what they do. It's extremely frustrating. Mandy and Sonya. The list goes on
Can
and
we
on.
at least make Tucker someone's muscle? Like, can we do that? Why can't we? Why can't we put him in a suit and make him like the Miz's Muscle or something like that? I don't know. Like we chose Angel Garza instead to get beat down. It just doesn't make any sense.
It feels like he gets fired like soon.
Yeah, he's gonna get released. When they should have been tag team, you're right. They should have been in the heart of the tag team championships on SmackDown. Because I'd much rather see the Street Profit versus Heavy Machinery than the Street Profit versus Rude and Ziggler.
Yeah, they had what they do. They had Tucker Cost. He turned his back on him with his generic promo.
Hit him with the briefcase. Then he came out and cut the promo on why, and we haven't seen him since.
With no payoff, no anything. I thought they'd probably get some type of situation or spot at Survivor Series. They did nothing there. Obviously, Tucker was not in the Royal Rumble. It doesn't make sense.
Brutal. I like Otis a lot. I was hoping that he could like win some mid-card titles. I liked Heavy Machinery a lot. I thought that they could have been a good tag team for a really long time, but I clearly am in the not in the know in that thing. All right, so let's just backtrack for a second. Elimination Chamber. What are your fondest Elimination Chamber memories? What is the ideal? Like what match or moment stands out to you where you're like, if something like this happens again, like on next Sunday, I'll be really happy because that's a lot of fun.
I mean, like I don't really have a ton of memories. I feel like it's not one of those like events that really like resonates with me. It's always a good time, but like I can't think off the top of my head. I think it was really cool when they were doing all this stuff with Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, and Shawn Michaels like came in under the ring and gave him the sweet chin music, and he cost Undertaker the match to like keep on like, I'm fighting you at WrestleMania, like you have to accept, like I'm making you do this. Like I remember that being a really cool moment. But besides that, I'm sure John's had a lot of really cool stuff at the Chamber.
So just a few that stick out to me. The first one between Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels finally beats Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. It was great. So much fun. A lot of blood and gore. The one where John survives the whole thing, and then Edge cashes in the first Money in the Bank briefcase. That was after Elimination Chamber. Okay. Those are just two that stick out to me. Obviously, we talked about Santino Marella yesterday, who had to go through, who was in the final two, right? And he eliminated, it was him and CM Punk, I believe. Does that sound right?
I don't remember this. You said yesterday that he was like a finalist once. I don't remember Santino.
I believe it was him and Punk. Maybe I'm remembering this wrong, but I think Punk just gives him the go to sleep and that's it. He like rolled up Punk for a second and it was like 1-2 and the whole crowd was going nuts. The crowd wanted to see him win a big match that he.
I wasn't even in an Elimination Chamber match. How did that even happen?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up now. Talk to our audience about your other fondest memories of Elimination Chamber while I look this up.
I pretty much told you I don't have them, so that's kind of
just create one
in a tough predicament. But no, hopefully it's not terrible this year. It's one of those things where like I say all the time now.
Terrible though. I hate the timing of it. I think this match should matter so much more than it actually does.
Yeah, it could be cool and be fun and matter if it wasn't right now. If this was like in freaking, I don't know, in July or like something, like if it was like around like when titles could change hands, like we're in a spot now where like things are, if not cemented in, pretty close to cemented in. And it's why it's not fun to have these big gimmicky matches where you know the result. It's not the same, but it's like with Roman and Kevin Owens the other day at the Rumble. I was telling you, like, this should be awesome, but I want it to end because I know Roman's going to win and I want to watch the Rumble. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. It was Daniel Bryan who pinned Santino Marella for the last one. He was the last person eliminated.
That's crazy. So like they did a spot where like they made you think he might win.
Yeah, I forget who it was. The other members in the match were Wade Barrett, Cody Rhodes, Big Show, and the Great Khali. So it wasn't really that stacked of a roster. Yeah, John Cena defeated Kane in an ambulance match at that pay-per-view, and Jack Swagger with Vicky Guerrero defeated Justin Gabriel with Hornswoggle by submission. Wow. That's a sentence I didn't know existed.
That's something.
Yeah, and then the other one, the other chamber for the WWE, that was for the World Heavyweight Championship. The other chamber for the WWE Championship was CM Punk, The Miz, Chris Jericho, Kofi, Dolph, and R-Truth. So probably a little bit better of the two matches for sure. But yeah, I feel like Elimination Chamber should matter a lot more than it does. And it should, and because they used to have it at SummerSlam, they used to do New Year's Revolution and at the end of January. It used to be like the first Sunday in January, and they do Royal Rumble the last Sunday in January. And it would be like, okay, like the title could change hands before the Royal Rumble because things aren't set yet. Not anymore. Kind of stinks. That this match, which used to be so cool, the early ones were really great. Some of the ones Batista and Undertaker battled it out in some of these chambers. Like, these were really good matches, and now they're not anymore, and that kind of stinks.
Yeah, no, you definitely have a beef. It should be really cool, and I'm kind of just thinking like, how are we gonna have Drew win this and make me kind of annoyed? But
yep. Anything else you expect from Friday Night SmackDown tonight? We kind of went over. Well, we didn't really actually go over a lot. Like Roman and KO are probably just going to continue doing what they're doing, right?
Yeah, I don't know how much more of the story we can tell, but it'll continue. Maybe Edge is there again. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I think Seth Rollins is definitely the focal point. We got to see what Seth does tonight.
Yep, and Sasha and Bianca, and I don't even want to. That was so weird. The segment between Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, and Carmella. That was so weird.
I thought you were gonna say the Raw segment, which was also super weird. It was like the backstage thing with Asuka and Bianca.
And yeah, that was strange.
They're like dancing around. It was like, yeah, but if you beat Lacey, I might challenge you. And then like they stopped, and it was like, I don't know.
Do you think Carmella and Sasha run it back again?
It could be a similar situation to Kevin Owens and Roman. They just don't want anyone else to take the loss right now. But why else was she even there? So
that's a really good point.
If not, then why? What was the point? I don't know.
Anything else on SmackDown?
I think we're
covered.
Kind of
cut you off before I was able to actually ask you.
I think we're covered.
Good on SmackDown. All right. Monday night is the go-home show for Elimination Chamber. I don't know what to expect. They actually put together championship matches going into this one. We have 3 of the 4 titles set. I don't know if the Raw championships are going to be defended. We'll see tonight if Big E gets challenger for Elimination Chamber. And we'll see if Sasha and Carmella are indeed the match for Elimination Chamber. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, the card's coming together, and it doesn't look that bad, for sure. The triple threat match is the one that I'm most interested in, but we will go over that card again next week. And if you have nothing else left to say, then I'm good here. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, you could throw us a like, a little subscribe. We're back every Friday, maybe. If not Friday, then another day of the week. And yeah, that's kind of it. Thank you guys for watching.